So today we're going to be learning about some of the wonders of the modern world. And there was a list that came out a few years ago of the 7 wonders of the modern world. Because there used to be 7 wonders of the world back in the ancient days, but not all of those places are still around. And so these are some that we've decided are great landmarks and wonders in our world. And so one of them is the Channel Tunnel, and it's in the Strait of Dover between the United Kingdom and France. Another one is the Itaipu Dam on the Parana River between Brazil and Paraguay. Delta Works in the Netherlands is one, and the Panama Canal in the Isthmus of Panama. But we're going to be focusing just on the North American wonders of the world today, which are down here. There's the CN Tower in Ontario, Canada, the Empire State Building in New York City, and the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. So if you look on the map, you can see them over here labeled. There's the Golden Gate Bridge over here in California, the CN Tower, and the Empire State Building. And if we look at the borders for the states and between the United States and Canada, you can see the CN Tower is really close to the United States. The CN Tower and the Empire State Building are much closer together than they are to the Golden Gate Bridge, even though the CN Tower is in a different country. But we'll start with that one. So this image overlay here just shows kind of a picture of the CN Tower, so you can see what it looks like straight on. It's a really tall tower and a popular tourist attraction. And I have a video that I would show now. The video kind of describes some of the things you can do in the CN Tower. And then we'll look at it from a different view. This shows us a street view showing 3D buildings. And so the CN Tower is really tall. And you can see it from the bottom. It kind of shows how tall it is. So, why was the CN Tower built? One of the reasons was that skyscrapers were blocking radio and television signals, so the tower was made taller than other buildings for telecommunication reasons. And now many tourists visit it, and that was something we learned from the video. And now we can kind of look around at the tower a little bit from the bottom. You can see there's like a little gift shop down here at the base of the tower, and an entrance it looks like. And you can look up at the whole tower. And what would be your favorite part of the tower to visit, since we found out a little bit about what goes on in there in the video? I think I would really like the glass observation galley up at the top, because you can lean up against the glass and look down and see the ground. So it's like staring from the top of the building at the ground, but it's not as dangerous as it would be actually staring. I think that part would be really cool. And also the spinning restaurant that's up in here, so you can get kind of a view of the city. Okay, so let's move on to the Empire State Building. This is another important landmark in our country. And New York City is actually a really important city. It has so many important things in our country, like Broadway and Times Square, and there's so many important businesses there. And you can see the Empire State Building stands out as a really big landmark. It was actually the tallest building in the world when it was first built. And then there's a picture I have to show what it looks like at night. It kind of shows that it can change how it looks at night. It really stands out in the city. And that is another reason it's an important landmark. This video shows us some of the history of the Empire State Building. So next we'd watch that. And then that taught us a few important facts. What year was the Empire State Building built? It was built in 1931 by John Jacob Rascob. And we kind of already talked about this a little bit, but who remembers what was significant about this building when it was first built? Yeah, it was the tallest building in the world until the World Trade Centers were completed in 1972. And the Empire State Building is 1,250 feet tall. And so that's another reason it's a really important landmark in our country. It was the tallest building in the world when it was built. So it really was an architectural wonder. And also, we can kind of look at a view of New York City from the Empire State Building. That helps us see what this huge city is like. If we just spin around real quick, so you can see so many different buildings. This is really one of the biggest cities in the world. So there's a lot to take in. And from this view, you can kind of feel like you're really there, because this is almost like a video or something. It just shows exactly what it looks like all around in the 360 city view. And then finally, we're going to go over to the Golden Gate Bridge. The Golden Gate Bridge is another really important landmark in our nation. It was built way back in 1937, so it's been around for a long time, and it's built to cross the San Francisco Bay, because it's really big, but lots of people need to cross it, and so it's nice for cars to be able to cross to get to San Francisco. And then there's a video I would show that talks a little bit about the history of the Golden Gate Bridge again. And that gave us a lot of details, so hopefully we can remember a few things from it. Like I said, it was built in 1937. Does anyone remember about how many cars cross the bridge every day? 120,000. That is so many cars. So it's a really big bridge that can hold a lot of cars at one time, but also lots of cars are always trying to cross it. And how long is the bridge? The bridge is actually 1.7 miles. So if you look from here to here, that's 1.7 miles. That kind of gives you an idea of how wide the bay is. So it was really cool that someone had the idea to actually build a bridge that could go across 1.7 miles of water so people would be able to drive. And back in 1937, that was a really, really different idea to have. But it worked out nicely, and it's been around looking awesome ever since then. And another cool thing you can see here is the ocean water moves. This is showing an ocean view, and the ocean looks pretty realistic. And we can actually go under the water if we want to and look up at the bridge. That's something that is hard to actually be able to do. So it's pretty cool. There's the bridge from underneath. So these three wonders of North America are really important on our continent, and they're all very important landmarks, and we can learn a lot by exploring the world around us. So maybe we'll look at the other four wonders later.